got that voice that make your booty go. Well, we should let everybody know that today's episode is confessions. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, white lies, dirty laundry, public apologies, confessions. We're going to get it off our chest.
So you know I got none of that. I got none of that.
You got none of that? Is that because you've spent a lot of time in a confessional?
Whoa. Well.
Have you ever been? I've never been in a confessional. Have you been in one?
I've never confessed in a confessional, though I have been in a confessional.
Okay, maybe I fall in that camp as well. How did that happen for you?
I think it was just like a tour of famous cathedrals.
Oh, okay.
You get in that confessional.
Gotcha. Yeah. The movies make it look a little ominous. I'd like to think in real life it's more therapeutic.
I think I did stand in line, but it was a long line because it was like, hey, we're doing real work here, you know? So I just skipped it. I think that's what happened.
It would be interesting to try. I'd like to try it sometime.
Yeah, I would like to try it.
I bet you'd feel good.
Man, well, Ash Wednesday is next Wednesday, so maybe when they're done with the ashes, maybe they open up the confessional. I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Well, the A stands for apologize.
And the B stands for Broadway. I don't.
Well, you made
S. S stands for sinfulness, and H stands for hamburgers. You know, we would eat some hot dogs, but not on Fridays. You'll have to take that hot dog, sir, someplace else, because it's going to be Friday. So.
All right, that got me pretty good.
Confessions. That's what we're talking about.
We're talking about confessions.
Our listeners will be our priests.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be great. This is going to be, we're going to get a lot off our chest. We're just going to float out of here today.
Because your theory is that the more you confess, the lighter you are, you can float through life, right? You've told me that before, right?
Yeah. Well, I think so. I think, maybe that's, let me ask you this. Do you think people apologize more now? Or it's less prominent? Apologies.
Like age-wise or like year-wise?
Yeah, as now in 2025, do we apologize more or less?
I'd say more.
More?
I'd put more.
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. We apologize more. I think we probably maybe mean it less.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's something called the apology paradox. I was reading about this. The apology paradox is something that happens because we apologize so much and everything is so available, right? So if customer service is like, Yelp / Google reviews / everything, you have to be on your A game. You have to apologize. So it is lip service usually. And there's also a phenomenon where apologies can be good for business, and to the point where you can be strategic about screwing something up just to apologize.
Give me an example. That sounds a little far-fetched.
Well, an example is the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons are famous because of their apologies. The Four Seasons, all their staff.
The hotel group.
Yes, the hotel group. Yes. If you ever say the Four Seasons, you just make sure you misplace your bag somewhere, because they will, all the staff are trained. They have a meeting every single morning on any mistake that happened to a guest. And every staff, from janitor to hotel manager, are responsible for in some way addressing the mistake if they interact with the guest. So, you get a lot of upgrades, spa treatments, whatever else.
Just because you forgot something somewhere. Or...
Well, if a mistake was their fault.
I got you.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
But the idea is that if a customer satisfaction is, on a line graph, it's just steady. You're just 45-degree angle the whole way up, right? But if you intentionally make a mistake, just so that you can do a proper apology meaning we got this wrong, we're going to make it right, we regret this, and it's sincere, and there's no excuses, then the customer satisfaction is actually well above what it would have been on the regular trajectory.
No way.
That is the apology paradox.
Wow. Just when you think what's real and what isn't. The Four Seasons is like, oh my gosh, I'm consciously making a mistake now so I can apologize to you later.
Right, and not to say the Four Seasons does that, they probably don't, but I do think it's probably something that happens. I'm not sure in what capacity. I'm going to be on the lookout for it now.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, of course, we have had to make apologies in our life for things, but there's some things that we don't get caught. You know what I'm saying? Some things
True.
that maybe like been rattling around forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm walking in today heavy, but I'm walking out
Yeah.
free as a bird. Anything rattling around for you?
I mean, there are. I mean, I don't like to sit on my apologies. I don't think too long.
Okay.
There's a few
Yeah.
that come to
Come
mind.
on. Give a shout out. Yep.
I would say there are times where I do spend money in our joint account without talking to Katie about. We typically, I don't think we don't have a hard and fast rule about X amount of dollars requires a conversation, but I definitely have like, oh, I'm not going to bring that up. Katie isn't super in. Neither one of us actually are very tuned in with the finances. So it would take.
It's amazing you've got clothes and new shoes, newish shoes.
No, it's never clothes and new. I've got that overdraft protection, so it would take a lot. It would take a lot for there to be for it to come to somebody's attention.
Sure.
I will say probably the thing that is. Okay, I probably just need to apologize to Katie for this right now.
Get it out. I know Katie's one of our avid listeners.
We'll find out after this, because this will be my apology. I don't invest money often.
Okay.
But when it's a sure thing.
Yeah, like Bitcoin back in the 2000s. Yes, sir.
Had I had the chance. I used a service called Rider Share recently.
Okay.
Not recently. I mean, in the last few years.
Is it like Uber?
It's like Toro, if anything, but it's for motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
So you can, a lot of like rental companies don't have motorcycles. So this is just peer-to-peer, other motorcycle riders. You fly into a city. Maybe they meet you at the airport, or maybe you got to take a cab to their house or whatever, but you can rent their motorcycle. They have a good business model. It works really well for that. They were recently trying to upscale in the last few years, and they were trying to get into the snowmobile market.
Yeah.
And they sent me an email asking for investors, and I did invest $500.
Wow, that's
company.
a lot of investment.
I know, but I mean, you heard me.
But it's
right?
a sure
Snowmobile.
thing.
Right. Snowmobile.
This year was a lot of snow.
There was exactly.
They probably did very well this year.
So recently I checked in on the investment. I didn't tell Katie about this. I was going to wait until the money doubled or tripled.
But guess what, baby? I'm a genius.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
But it looks like I think it was a scam. I do think it was a scam. I don't know. Yeah.
Was that a Nigerian prince involved?
No, there was no Nigerian prince needs a snowmobile. No. I don't know. I tried to find out what it's worth.
Yeah.
Recently, I was like, all right, it should be about the time I'd think it'd be doubled or tripled by now. And there's literally no trace of this at all. There's no way for me to find out what the stock is worth.
Man.
There's literally I found the original email.
Okay, yeah. At least you didn't delete it.
I didn't delete the email.
Good God.
The original email mentions a money-back guarantee.
Oh, okay.
Which does not seem to be standard investment startup material. So I do believe it was maybe a scam. I got scammed for $500, possibly.
What was the email address? Did you at least do a little digging? Like, what's the email address?
Boy, I don't know, because it was just a random string of numbers and letters.
Oh, no.
It's hard to...
Checks out. These guys, if you met one, you met 100. They just put letters and numbers together at hesitations.com.
Yeah,
you know?
It was obscure, and that's why I'm having a hard time remembering it, but it was obscure. So... Well... That's all. I honestly feel better. I don't think I've ever told anybody that.
Man,
that's good.
I love a world where you can believe in a motorcycle ride share that wants to potentially diversify with snow.
Money back guaranteed.
And that you can lose $500.
No losses.
And who knows? Maybe it'll come back. Maybe you don't know. You know?
It's true. No, there's still. It was through like a third-party reputable thing, but the third party might have not have been legit. So that's the thing. It was through Republic, which is us startups.
Yeah.
But I'm just awfully confused.
Well, thrill the hunt. Let's just mark it up to thrill the hunt.
It's almost worth it just to be able to share it now.
So we're starting a Patreon page. Just for Joe. No.
Snowmobile rental.
Always free. Always free. Well,
the thing, motorcycles are a summer business. And that, to me, that's why it made sense. It's just like we're only investing in half of the year right now.
Yeah. And you know, that scamster, that fraudster, with that eloquent email and that business model has made $500.
You suck. Oh, you're terrible. All right.
All right. Put into
okay.
It. They hacked into their accounts.
You haven't been scammed? You never been scammed?
Man, scams. Scams.
Internet scams are kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody's, done like the sleight of hand, whatever, like, who cares? It's just a few bucks.
Yeah. Well, there was a time in grade school that a bully stole my best friend's Slap It bracelet. Remember those Slap It bracelets?
Yeah,
it was when they listen. It was 1991. It was brand new. It had just come out. It was brand new tech.
Took that long? Okay.
At least I think it was. And which my son's had one recently, and it wore through. And you know what was on the inside, the slap 'em part?
I don't think anybody's ever known. It was just like plasma.
It was part of a tape measure.
What?
Some dude in a developing country is taking tape measures.
Like it had numbers and lines?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Yes. That makes sense.
And they cut it, and then they put it into the thing.
Wow.
Anyways,
unbelievable.
So if you have one at home, do the research.
You're in a pinch.
Cut it open. Yeah, if you're in a pinch to measure something.
To measure something 6 inches or less.
It's
not big.
Well, this bully had stolen my buddy's slap bracelet because he'd found out that I had a Nolan Ryan's Texas Rangers baseball card.
Ooh.
And I ought to call Brian Manassian because he's the only one that knew I had that card. So how the bully found out, I don't know. Brian probably knows. And he was like, bro, you have got to give us your Nolan Ryan card.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, and now I'm starting to think maybe my friend was in on it because, like, why didn't we just go to the teachers? I feel a little scammed because I gave up my Nolan Ryan baseball card for my buddy's slap 'em bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back in '91 when Nolan Ryan was going for, I think, a record on
no hitters.
No hitters. That's it. No hitters.
That one hurts. You were a Texas boy. That's a lot. That really hurts because Nolan Ryan was I'm sure a legend. Did you know the terms?
Like that I give him the card and my buddy gets the slap 'em bracelet back? Yeah, I knew it.
Is that a scam?
Well, it's a scam. Yes, it's a scam. It's a scam because I didn't know there was any alternatives. Nobody was like, it was like all I remember was like hush hush. It was like, bro, I really need that Nolan Ryan card for this guy who took my slap 'em bracelet.
That's slick.
Yeah. But I got him. You know what? A friend of mine had told, I was not a baseball person, which is one of my big confessions, is bigger than that. But that I had actually written, a friend of mine was like, oh man, this card here, he was going through my cards, this card here, valuable. And you know what I did? I was like, bro, hang on. I grabbed a pen and I wrote valuable in blue ink all over the card of Nolan Ryan.
Tim.
Just so I could remember it was valuable.
I need to remember.
And I was like, oh man, hang on.
Yeah.
It was Brian Manassian. I know that for sure. It was a birthday party at my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, this one? Yes. Yeah. And I wrote valuable. That's a lot of letters right there. And I remember Brian looking so confused. And I was like, well, how else am I going to remember that this is the card that's valuable?
I love it.
And he was just like,
you solved it.
That's what's
Man, you solved it. Man, that's good.
So my buddy got the slap 'em bracelet back.
You really screwed up.
Whatever his name was.
Man, that's rough.
he got a card that was written on already, which segues into a confession. I just don't understand sports. I don't understand pro sports. It looks like grown men putting on costumes. You know, they wear clothes you wouldn't wear normally, but they put on costumes, maybe like
some of them are
helmet
important.
or things.
Yeah.
You know, some protection. But
jockstrap.
don't give me that because rugby has zero protection and they hit a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I don't understand. And then they run up and down like a piece of grass, or like in basketball, like real well polished. And it's like, man, 100 points. Like if your game took you 100 points, you've got the wrong game. Like that game is not challenging enough.
Sure.
They ought to take the baskets and raise them like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be a game. Imagine basketball, but the goals are like
16 feet?
16
That's what you want? That's what you want? 16 feet?
I mean, you're going to have games that are like, man,
I don't know.
You know, the Dallas Mavericks won with a score of 21 points. You know, that makes sense to me.
I don't know.
And I tried explaining football to my son as best I could. And at the end, I was like, I'm making it up.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, how much do you get if you like get into the zone? I was like, man, you get 6 points,
You got it.
bro.
You
He's
got
like,
it.
Okay, 6 points. Cool. All right. And then what if like you kick it through the thing? And I'm like, okay, well, that is 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
okay, but I got 6 points for getting it here. I got 1 point through the uprights. I'm like, yeah. And then, of course, they do like a field goal from midfield.
Sure.
Because you know they ran out of steam there. And he's like, well, how come that was 3 points and not 1 point? And I was like, well, because when you do it not after a touchdown, it's 3 points, but after a touchdown, it's 1 point.
I think you nailed it.
I just didn't even tell him about safeties being 2 points.
Don't. Yeah, that's. I think you nailed it, and I take comfort because I like sports, some sports.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't understand all the rules. But I do take comfort in the fact that I don't believe the players know all the rules either.
Oh, you think so?
After every single foul, they're both like hands in the air, like, what could it be?
Yeah.
It couldn't have been me. It could have been him. What are you talking about? What is that hand signal?
Yeah.
So I don't even worry about it. I just enjoy it. I think they're fun. But that's way to get that off your chest. I don't think, honestly, anybody was pegging you as Mr.
Sports.
I don't think so. But
One time in middle school, I did play football in middle school, and I didn't understand it. And I was on special teams. I was also a tight end. I was on special teams.
Ouch.
And I just was like, you know what?
Just special teams?
I'm going to hit somebody. I'm on special teams, mind you. There's only one person you should hit on special teams. Yeah. And it's in 7th grade. So, like, there's probably 0 people you need to hit.
Yeah.
And I just picked a dude. There he is. Just a random dude.
Not a ball carrier.
No, he was just a random. He was in uniform. He was part of the opposing team. And I was like, well, I'm going to see what this is like. I just run over to him and peg him with, I closed my eyes so hard. I just got my eyes closed.
Oh, my God.
Peg this guy, right?
You went down.
So hard, I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground.
Oh, my God.
I look up.
Yeah.
He's not on the ground. I must have hit like his hip or something. He's
your eyes are closed.
He's looking at me. Yeah. He's looking at me like, what the hell was that? He's on special teams, so he's obviously not the best player on that team. And he's just looking at me like, what happened? Well, it was like at the 40-yard line, and the ball was down at the 20. I mean, I couldn't have been farther from the ball.
Yeah, you didn't do that quite right, but you...
You sure? You sure about that?
You didn't.
Yeah. But I got the experience, you know. I got to know what it's like to hit
Good for
somebody.
you. Yeah, not everybody does. Only time you've ever hit somebody? Anything else you want to confess to on that?
No, me and Matt
You ever kicked a
Poindexter,
dog?
we went out. We wanted to see what it was like to get punched. Gosh, I was probably 25 at this point. We went out behind church and just punched each other.
Oh, I didn't know if you just went and pissed off a bunch of people in a bar.
No, that could have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
This was just kind of like, all right, hit me, and then he hit me, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to hit you, and I hit him, and then we were like, that's what's up. But we should have gone to a bar.
You should have. You could have
done it right.
I think
you
you could have made that work for sure.
So it's hard to say stop in a bar. You can always tell your buddy, that's enough.
Yeah.
At a bar, they're like, That's what I've been waiting for you to say. You know, having a good time. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think that you've got half the experience there.
yeah,
And I do hope that maybe you get the full experience at one point. And maybe it involves you standing up for somebody else. That'd be great. You know?
man.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I know you've had some close calls, maybe some bosses in nearly
I'm a
getting
peaceful
punched.
dude, and in Texas, you get embarrassed when you get upset. Like it's not allowed. You know what I'm saying?
Getting upset's not allowed?
Oh, it's not. It's not. You laugh. You don't show your teeth.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. John Wayne didn't show his teeth, and I guess that's like who we follow. But
What?
you don't
Show your
show your
teeth?
teeth, and you know you're not supposed to lose control and get upset like that. You know, so I get a little embarrassed.
Oh,
you know,
I didn't know that. I really did not know that.
bro.
Boy, you've taught me something. All right, well, let me ask you this.
Get us back on track.
Let me
Joe.
get. I mean,
Joe,
I've just.
get us back on track.
I'm
Joe. I
just.
went down
we're
a
spitballing
wormhole
here.
here.
No, I'm
Yeah.
glad you did. But let me ask you this: how often do you lie?
Like in a bed, like lying down.
Do you lie?
Oh, telling a fib, telling a story.
I'm talking about being dishonest. Although you saying in bed was just wonderful. How often are you dishonest?
Baby, I'm not tired. Yeah, that's probably the number one lie. Baby, I'm not tired. And she
That's a
watches
white
this.
lie,
She
right?
Knows. She knows.
Does it count?
She's like, I know you're tired. Both tired. We got 4 kids, so we get a little
You're
tired.
always tired.
A little tired.
Yeah, you're always tired.
You know, I try not to lie. I do
Okay.
try. What about you? I mean, I'd say probably,
What's your frequency?
I guess 1 a week. You know what I'm saying?
One a week, you think?
Let's
If
just
you're
guess.
doing one a week, you're doing pretty good.
I think so. Do you have like a national average?
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, the University of Alabama asked thousands of people to do a lie journal, which
Okay, yeah.
and their reporting was anonymous, so that
Ooh,
helps. Of
yeah,
course,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
there's
yeah.
such a stigma with lying. Nobody likes a liar, but apparently we all do it.
Yeah.
Since I read that study, I've lied twice, and I knew about it.
How long has that been?
24 hours.
24 hours.
I've lied
2
twice.
lies. Okay.
2 lies.
All right.
2 completely harmless lies.
Yeah.
That I never would have considered as a lie.
Are you lying right now?
I'm not lying right now. What was one of them? I think I've already forgot it. Oh, some guy at the gym asked me if I ever do back-to-back HIIT workouts.
Ooh, what does
And-
that even mean?
It's an exercise at the gym that they offer. And I said, yes, I do. And I don't.
Oh, wow.
But I did one that day.
Ooh. So
And
you were
so-
like looking into the future,
I think I was. Yeah, I was like,
thinking of the past.
yeah, exactly. I was like, that. I've been telling myself over the last week, is like, I want to start doing that. So when he's like, do you ever do this? Because I knew it was a thing that people work towards.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he told me what he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, exactly.
Wow. So
Yeah.
then you lied
and then
to
I went and
him,
did it.
and then you lied to yourself.
Pretty much. Yeah, honestly, I was lying more to myself than anything. So forgive me. Let me just get that off my chest. Forgive me.
Yeah, get that
So
out.
that's the kind of thing. I think they're all white lies. 75% of people lie 0 to 2 times per day.
Okay. Yeah, but 0 is in there.
0's in there.
Yeah.
But 3/4 of the population, 1% of the population is lying 15 times or more a day.
What did they do for a living?
They must have some sort of alternate identity. I can't imagine.
Middle level
what would-
management. They're like, oh yeah, I definitely know what's going on. And they're like, in their office, they close the door and they're like, I'm afraid to ask at this point what's
Right.
going on.
I just got to keep it up. I mean, I honestly can't imagine what would bring somebody. I think that's at a level of
15
psychopathy.
times a day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's 1% though, right?
That's only 1%. Quite a few are lying around 6 times a day, though. I mean, not
times a
quite,
day,
but like
yeah.
about 15%. That's a lot.
Probably parents. Here's a lie I did recently.
That counts.
Here's a lie I did. Well, it's been a week and a half, so I am still
Okay.
on a 1 a week.
Still on your. All right.
Here's a confession.
Okay.
We have a fish tank, okay? And if any parent out there has kids who have fish, you know
That you lie.
you
comes
do
with the
a bit
territory.
of lying. All right? We have 13 fish. This story, at the
You
beginning
lied
of
a lot.
this story, we started with 14 fish.
Okay.
So the aquarium needed to get clean. You got this suction thing. You're sucking out all the fish poop. Yeah, and it's slow. The fish are usually strong swimmers.
Sure.
This day, a fish got sucked up. I didn't realize it. It ends up in a 5-gallon bucket with all the fish poop in about a third of the tank of water, right? So I go and I dump it down the potty. What should I see swimming in the bottom of that potty but a little tiny baby fish?
You didn't
Little
scoop?
fish.
You didn't scoop?
Bro, toilets go way in. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Had you already flushed?
Well, so when you dump like 3 gallons of water into a toilet, it just automatically goes down.
Yeah, I see what
But this
happened
guy is still alive in this little tiny puddle of the bottom of a toilet. You know what I'm saying? He's swimming. He's a little scared. He's going in the cave. He's coming out.
Yeah.
At this point, no need to lie. It's just me and the fish. So I try and at the same time, I'm like, this fish is so contaminated at the bottom of toilet.
It doesn't want to live.
I shouldn't work so hard because what if I bring back poison to the rest of the fish? However, living creature, love him, and it's my son's aquarium. So I get the net. I can't get him in my hands. He keeps hiding back there. Get the net. There's no poop at this point. There's just water, but it is the bottom of the toilet. I bend the net so I can get in there and can't get this guy. Finally, man, I just flush the frickin'.
You should have called a plumber.
As soon as I flush this fish, rest his soul, down to his watery grave, Jonah walks in. And he's like, hey, Dad, talking to me about stuff. And then he sees the net. He sees the toilet. He's like, what are you doing with the net? I was like, I just wanted to see something. That's all he needed.
That's all he needed?
He was like, oh.
That's all he needed. That memory might come back to him as a grown adult and be like, what the?
Well, because we trust people, right? We trust our parents so much that if our parent is just like, there's nothing to see here, you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
guess what? There's nothing to see here. Like, did you ever watch Westworld on HBO?
Haven't seen it. No.
Well, these humans are basically Western robots with AI or whatever. Anyways, they're programmed so that if they see like the schematics of their own drawing, they get a block and they're just like, yeah, looks good to me, even though it's them drawn as robots.
Okay.
But kids are like that.
Yeah.
I think. Our parents can say stuff like, oh yeah, well, the reason that happened is because Mercury's in retrograde, and the thing about it is that outside, we found leprechauns, and you've got to go check that. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I should go check on the leprechauns. So,
the research from the University of Alabama did make. Hopefully, that makes you feel a little bit better about your lies. Although that one involved life.
Good news is that we have 6 of those. Used to be 7. We have 6 of those.
Okay.
So I don't think anybody's going to know.
Yeah, you just got to keep this going about how many you
does
had
listen to
before.
this
You had 13, now you have 12.
Well, we had 14, now we have 13.
Okay, well you're gonna need to account for that at some point, and and your kids
food
listen to this.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. What you can feel good about is that you are a man. And you do naturally lie more than women, apparently.
Wow.
Look to camera. Okay, so that's a lie. All right, so let's get that. Let's run through this. What are the most common lies?
Yeah.
We think lies as, honestly, if somebody's a liar.
This is what I don't want most common. What about you, man? Come on, give me one more. I'm giving you
a
Nolan Ryan.
bunch
I'm giving you dead fish. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
I gave you that.
Give me a Joe special.
The gym example.
Joe special. Here we go.
Something I lie about or I've lied about. What is the
confession, baby? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We coming to church.
Whoa, what am I holding?
Yeah,
I mean, I got scammed, and that is embarrassing. What else do you want me to say? I wear a mouth guard. Okay, I take hair loss medication. What do you want from me,
bro?
Is that enough? Sometimes I don't return the grocery cart.
Bro.
I'll only not return. Let me just say this.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
Get it out. This is good.
No, I want it.
Get it out.
Want it.
You know. Yeah.
If I'm shopping.
Yeah.
and I decide I don't want the item,
Yeah.
more often than not, I'm not walking back to where the item
Bro.
was originally placed.
You're helping somebody's job security. That's actually a service.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Okay. I want you to blindly rank these things for me.
All right. Do I have to close my eyes? Is it that?
No, it's not that kind of blind.
Okay.
You tell me.
Yep.
Tell me in order. Tell me these are 6 things. You tell me how severe the lie is. Starting with
Sure.
6 is the least severe. 1 is the. Actually, these are not even lies. These are social taboos that we would never admit. On.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's numbers. All right, I'm gonna give you 6 things.
Okay. Yeah.
And you rank them.
Give them to me.
Kicking a dog. Rank it. 1 through 6.
And 6 being horrible and 1 being great.
1 being horrible.
1 being horrible.
Yeah.
I give that a 1, bro.
All right, one's
Don't kick
taken.
a dog.
One's taken.
Don't kick it.
Illegally dumping a mattress.
Oh, that's like a 6.
No, are you kidding me?
Bro,
That's terrible.
not in our neighborhood.
Oh, it's awful.
It adds to
oh
the
my
ecosystem.
God. I would judge
We're-
you so hard if
we-
you illegally.
well,
Have you done this?
These are things I
Have you-
wouldn't do.
You've done this, haven't you?
No, what I would do if it was me, I would take a circular saw and every week cut about a foot strip off, throw it in the garbage, and that would take me about 6 weeks. But I'm like a 3-legged pit bull, man. I'm slow, but I don't let go.
You can get there.
I get there, so I give it a 6.
That's a 6. One's all right.
Mattress and the
All
dog,
right.
yeah.
Asking for water and getting a soda.
Bro, that might be a 6 as well.
6 is taken.
6 is good, right?
6
Easy.
is not that bad,
what?
but it's still bad.
All right,
But
give it a
mattress, you got mattress at 6. So
right.
where's this?
All right, give it a 5, man. Come on, get that lemonade.
That's okay.
Get that Sprite. Those people
All
are
right. Not
for that.
recycling at all. Not recycling.
Bro,
One
none
bit.
of our recycling actually makes it into recycled
not
goods.
true.
That is so
We have a good
true.
recycling MRF here in Louisville. It's actually better than most.
I would give that. You don't recycle, I give it a 3. Not a big deal.
Peeing in the gym shower.
In the gym?
Yeah, in the
Shower?
gym shower. Yes, the shared shower.
Hey, man, I'd give that a 5, man. Some
You
people-
already used 5, and we have this. We go to
I'm
the
sorry,
same gym.
2. I give
We
it
go
a
to the
2.
same gym.
I give it a 2.
Okay, so it's
I give it a
serious.
2. Serious.
I want to
bro.
know that you're not peeing in the shower.
Yeah, it's a 2.
Okay.
Like, I forget my flip flops all the time. And one time, I got a planter's wart on my foot because I went in the shower barefoot because some dude peed planter's wart stuff onto the floor. It's a 2.
All right. I think you've
Possibly
only got one
possibly
left.
the worst. Next to kicking a dog,
That's the worst. I would agree that it is. It is. Have you ever done it though?
No.
Even once?
I don't even take showers
You've
in
never
there.
done it once.
No.
Yeah, me neither. Line number
Liar.
3. Line number 3.
Liar. What a liar.
I mean, I've done it.
Good-natured liar.
I've done it.
I'll do it at home.
In the rarest of occasions.
Yeah, when you're
In the
just like
rarest.
tied up, you can't get out of the shower and make it to the bathroom.
Absolutely.
And it caught you by surprise.
Yes.
You walked in thinking, I got no pee in me, and then you got a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
yep. What's
yeah,
the next
in
one?
the rarest of occasions.
So what's our next?
Okay, not taking the grocery cart back. That's one I'd admit I do 1/3 of the time. I don't take the grocery cart back. Where's that for you? You've used 1, 2, 5, 6,
Man, we'll just
and
throw it
4, I think.
We'll throw it in at 3. Why not?
I guess that's all you got left. Do you ever do that? I do it when it's a logistical concern with kids, pretty much. I
Sure,
can't imagine
that totally
doing it
makes
just
sense.
because I don't want to. I actually like walking. I like riding carts.
That's it. Yeah, I
yeah.
like it. I like taking them
Yeah.
back. I like riding them. I like
Yeah.
I like the whole process,
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to let it go.
Tell me if these are lies.
Okay.
Wearing a toupee?
Deceptive.
You put makeup as a lie.
I know I put makeup as deceptive.
Okay.
Some of that's for the clicks, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I appreciate the value of somebody accentuating features, and I appreciate makeup. And you know what? I think guys should wear makeup because why not? You
Why
know
not?
what I'm saying? Tattoos make our bodies more beautiful.
Yeah.
Why don't guys wear makeup? Maybe because we're too lazy. I don't know. But I'd be on that side. Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
You're not, so not a lie.
Toupee, I would say deceptive. but
Deceptive.
not a lie.
All right, so you've developed a new category for this one. Faking a sick day at work.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
And I hate that because I want to.
Yeah.
I want to fake a sick day so bad.
Boy, that'd be nice. That honestly,
I just can't.
I haven't done it since college. In college, I did, and this was when being able to Photoshop meant something. I did Photoshop a doctor's note because my teacher required a doctor's note.
Oh yeah.
And I did Photoshop one and did it for me. I definitely did it for Katie. I did it for other people. But yeah, that's a confession. That's out there.
Yeah.
I did that. I haven't done it since. All right. Telling a panhandler you do not have any change.
Man, I hate that, but yes, I do. I do it.
You do it?
I do. Say, I don't have any
Is it a lie?
Well, the thing is, 9 times out of 10, I don't have any cash. Nobody carries cash anymore.
Well, that's what I say
now.
now.
Panhandler.
Honestly, that is what I say. And maybe I'd say that's probably the best thing to say is, I haven't carried cash in years. And that's the truth.
But then sometimes I am carrying cash.
Oh, well, I just don't carry cash.
Yeah. Well, sorry, man, no cash.
I have gotten, and this is working for Coalition for the Homeless, and spending some time actually with people who, as they're panhandling,
Yeah.
was something that would happen outside of the coalition. Oh, slide to ourselves that we're not out of time. As sitting with people outside the coalition, I would, you go outside for whatever it is. You just smoke break or you're just taking a lunch break, whatever it is. And you're hanging out with people and they're panhandling. And my goodness, I would hate the way people talk to them. So what I've tried to do is tell people straight up, I haven't carried cash in years, which is the truth. Or if I really feel like that's not going to work or that's not the truth, maybe I'm carrying cash, it's just I just don't feel comfortable giving cash to somebody I don't know. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like giving cash and you talk to them about it.
Never given cash to somebody you didn't know?
Well, the thing is, when you're willing to say that, you have to be open to giving cash to somebody that you know. And for me, if I'm going to give cash to somebody, it's going to be because there's going to be some sort of relationship that's going to form there, right? If it's a neighbor, if it's the same person I see at the gas station every single day, maybe then you start to feel it out. You start to understand what they need it for and what they're going through, and that it might be, even if they're going to buy beer with it, if there's going to be a relationship there, maybe it's something that could be fruitful. But yeah, I mean, I just don't feel comfortable giving cash to somebody that I don't know or know the intentions of. Because it's so prominent. I mean, you know the neighborhood we live in. I mean, if you gave cash to every single person, your kids wouldn't eat, you know?
That's true. That's true. All right. What else is on your list?
All right, I got, let's see. An interview? Does anything go in an interview? Overstating qualifications, is that a lie?
No, you can overstate maybe on a resume. But you better not do it in an interview because that's when
rubber hits the road.
they're going to be counting on you some facts.
Yeah.
You know, you got to maybe bend the truth on a resume and hope they don't notice that one line. Because when they do the interview and they're like, oh, so I see that you're proficient in French. Here's an example. I was taking a Spanish class, you know, like continuing ed or whatever. And this woman worked for a restaurant chain and she knew French. And she was like, yeah, there was a guy applying for a manager position of this restaurant chain. And he would have had the job, but I saw in his resume that he said he knew French. And turns out I'm from Pennsylvania, sort of a French area, so I knew French. I was like, bonjour, ça va, papa. He said stuff to French, and he didn't know a lick of French. She's like, he would have had the job. You don't even need to speak French to work in this Mexican restaurant.
Oh, my God.
But he had put on, like, oh, yeah, I know French.
Wow.
And,
you did that.
What's that?
Busted him.
No. Well, she did. Yeah, she busted him.
She busted him.
Because, you don't want somebody that's lying. So I think you do want to maybe say things in a positive light.
Sure.
On a resume, but then like on the interview, you got to like have some real listen. That is totally true on the resume.
Yeah.
However, you should know that the real shining star of an experience like that is actually this other thing I did. That was. It looks good on paper, but it really was a nothing burger. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. It looks good on paper.
Say it, yeah.
It was really a nothing burger.
That is really what it comes down to, is if you just say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so much grace that covers anything that's just like kind of in the white lie category. The most common, and most white lies, by the way, are really not. Most lies, first of all, are not in the deceptive for my personal game category.
That's true.
Right?
That's true, yeah.
Let me give it to you. Okay, so that same study, thousands of people logging tens of thousands of lies for a year. I mean, it was like, actually, maybe it was like hundreds of thousands of lies. Most common reason people lie. Do you know what it is?
Make other people feel comfortable, probably.
It's actually to avoid being around other people.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
I can't tonight, I got a headache, or the kids are
I
crazy,
got
whatever.
an early night tomorrow.
21% of the lies that were logged by that study were that. And then 20% to be humorous, self-protection, or just to foster good relationships, right?
Wow.
Protect good relationships. So only 2% of the lies fell in the category of intent to hurt somebody, 9% for personal gain. Honestly, that's 11%. About 89% were mostly harmless, although maybe they have some character, aspects to them. But, I'm stuck in traffic. I'm already on the way. Anything that you say while you open a present, like, no biggie, right? Tell me, have you ever had to? Maybe we'll end with this.
Oof.
All right.
Big finale. Uh-huh.
Have you ever had to do a public apology?
It's hard to remember, but probably in high school, I was in the band, we'd gone on a band trip, and on the trip to Corpus Christi, a bunch of us seniors had gotten out late at night, just got on the roof of this condo and just walked around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peed off the roof a little bit.
Harmless.
It was very, as far as things go, harmless.
As far as things go.
I mean, granted, you had to like
one window's being off the roof, the other end is concentration camps. As far as things go,
mean, we weren't doing any drugs. We weren't drinking anything. Nobody was making love to their teenage sweetheart. Literally, you did have to like get on top of a patio furniture to climb up onto the roof, but then just walk around. We're all like having a moment of like, guys, we've had like a freaking good run, y'all. Anyways, we get caught because we walk over one of the assistant band director's room. He hears footsteps. He hops out of bed. He is Sherlock on the case.
He felt good.
And man, he busted us. So they kicked us out of band. I was going to college for music, so I was like, uh-oh, that's not good to have like kicked out of band. And then you go, I don't think it would have mattered. When you're a high schooler, you're like, you don't realize like the world does not care what Billy Bob, band director, thought of you in the last 2 months of your time there. Right. But at the moment, it seemed bad. So I think that we had to, to get back into band, just to keep that in, we had to, there was a bunch of us, there's probably 6 of us, in school suspension for a week.
That's rough.
Saturday school for a month. The dude was
This is overkill.
The dude was super overkill.
Yeah. He owes you an apology, I'll be honest, at this point.
Yeah, in fact, when he caught us, he kicked us out of the band effective immediately and sent us home on planes while the rest of the band was driving back. He sent us home on planes.
You're kidding me.
So we had to leave everybody, get on planes, fly home. It was like, in hindsight, like, I mean, he's like, y'all could have fallen off the roof. What?
Were your parents just
No, my parents just were like, they were chaperones. My parents were. They were like,
what?
Oh, well, gosh, y'all, I think he's overreacting. There's so much was happening.
Oh, my God.
And they were taught to trust authority.
Yeah.
But I think they were like, this is a lot, but they weren't upset. Anyways, but then we had to write written apologies so that our bandmates would know that no one should, under any circumstances...
Ex-bandmates.
Well, then we were back in. We're back in.
You're back in?
Band. Yeah,
way to go.
So you get to do your final concert. That's the pro. It's like, you're like, because you're always looking for that senior concert where you like play that, in hindsight, it's like, man, I should have just told him to suck it and like walked away and been like, c'est la vie, you know what I'm saying? C'est la vie, such is life. But instead, I played his game. I went to the Saturday school for a month. did in-school suspension for a week, which was a real treat.
Yeah.
That Vietnam vet of a teacher,
Oh boy.
bless
Had
his
to be.
soul,
Had to be.
told us about the shrapnel still in his body.
Oh my God.
There's a lot to unpack about that racist Vietnam veteran teacher running in-school suspension who told a black kid if he was feeling monkey, he should swing. You know, there's things that you get to see when you're in the front row seat
Sure. Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the path less
I've
trodden.
done that. I've done that in school suspension for sure.
Good.
Totally.
It's a different world.
Oh wow! In my experience, they just gave it to like the PE teacher who didn't really
Man,
have anything to teach anyways. But
that would have been a step up.
That
This
is
guy-
rough,
This
boy.
guy was 100. This guy was 100. He's just sitting there
Sounds
looking through
like it.
gun catalogs.
What? Texas for you?
That's a lot, man.
Texas, my gosh.
So I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the memories. But
Oh,
we did have to
boy.
write an apology
That is rough.
for Air Buddy. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
You
What
got-
about you? You got a public apology story?
I've done
Maybe
a
we'll-
few.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
done
a few? You're making a habit.
Yeah, I've done a few.
Okay.
I'll do. Okay, so you jogged my mind about when I got kicked out of church camp once. Similar experience is that yours sounds a little more extreme. I think that one came with an apology. That didn't even register till right now. I did have to do another one.
Kicked out for what? You were walking on roofs?
I wasn't walking on roofs. I was just having a good time, and apparently that's a crime. I was actually in the basement in my story, and I think I was just rebel rousing a little too much.
Ooh,
I'd like drawn on some papers. I had like, I don't know, maybe taken something I wasn't supposed to. I rubbed somebody the wrong way who believed that kids are
Ouch.
exactly. Yeah, they swear that kids are to have structure and to sit and to be respectful and all those
Man.
things. And I just wasn't playing that game.
Yeah.
You're with your buddies, you're having a good time,
it's
and
church
just wasn't
camp.
what I expected. And I was just, honestly, I think we're all relieved. Just get me out of here.
Yeah. Send me home.
Now, the public apology came in high school. You know, I was homeschooled through a lot of my childhood, and I finally get to public school in 9th grade, and I just wanted all the high school experiences that you'd seen in the movies, you know?
Yes.
And as a freshman, my first fire drill,
Yeah.
I came to realization, because I'd always want to pull the fire alarm.
Man,
That's
who
something that
doesn't
happens.
want to pull a fire alarm?
It's something that happens in the movies. It's always a good time, and everybody just loves it. There's no consequences, and I wanted that. And I figured we're doing a fire drill. I've never done one of these, but the fire alarm's already going off.
Because you've been homeschooled for your whole life.
Not a single fire drill.
Man,
Not once.
come on, Mom. She
Not
did a lot
once.
of things right, but that's
Yeah.
one thing she did
Never
wrong.
did a fire drill. Lots of active shooter drills. Never. Yeah, no fire drill. It's my first fire drill. I'm walking out, and I see the fire alarm on the wall. There it is.
Yeah.
The fire alarm's already going off.
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Bro.
I reach in there.
Smart.
I pull that mofo.
I feel stupid that I never even
pull
thought about that.
Yes. And
How did it feel?
It felt good. I'm not
Yeah?
gonna lie. It did feel good. It caused problems with the fire department.
How's that? I mean, they were there already.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a real fire alarm gets pulled. Maybe they just do the sound.
Okay.
I don't know. But they came guns
Joyce
blazing.
Joyce is in the office going, woo, woo, woo. They just do the sound. Woo, woo. Am I doing it right?
They came like, man, they'd been ready for this one, and they
Oh my
rolled up to
gosh.
that, and everybody. I'm new to the fire drills, but everybody, there's a little murmur around the people they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're like, this one's a little different. This one doesn't normally last this long. This one,
Yeah.
the fire department never actually comes in a panic with an axe.
Wow.
And eventually, after a long time, maybe like an hour. I mean, this
Wow.
thing is everybody. You got like 1,000 students
Yeah.
in the parking lot for like an hour.
Yeah.
Eventually, we all funnel back in. I know I've got something to do with this at this point.
Yeah.
And after a while, we're back in the class, and the principal comes in and he says, "Listen, somebody pulled the fire alarm, and this is the only class that exits out of the door where the fire alarm was."
Yeah, you're not thinking about covering your tracks. There's already a fire alarm going off.
I know. I did not see this playing out.
Yeah.
They gave one opportunity for somebody to confess. I did confess in that
Yeah.
moment. They said, raise your hand. I did.
You're like, yeah?
Yeah.
Man.
And so anyways, the whole thing, principal's office, in-school suspension, all the stuff. They're like, well,
Really?
you got to pay $800. Every time the fire department comes out, you have to pay $800.
But I thought that
my
they were
gosh.
coming anyways.
They weren't coming.
Oh, no?
No, that fire drill was for us, not the fire department.
Oh.
I know. I didn't. They're separate drills.
They should have told you that. And by the way, guys, don't pull.
It's for you.
Don't pull it. This is just for us.
Yeah.
Do not pull anything.
The next time I was in normal class and not in-school suspension, I did have to stand up and issue an apology. I'm not sure if that's something my parents asked me to do, if the principal asked me to do, if it was wrapped up in the whole, you don't have to pay $800 if you do this. I'm not really sure. But I did that one, and that one, I've done others, but that one sticks out because I was the new kid, and, I got to share with everybody, like, hey, just because that fire alarm's going off doesn't mean that you can pull the fire alarm. And I think...
Well, and some teenage girl was just like, ooh, we got the bad boy in our class. That bad boy homeschooler just pulling things. You know? Somebody was like, I'm sure your whole class was like, you're the luckiest guy I know. Always wanted to pull a fire alarm.
They'll never know the feeling. The feeling is wonderful. And my dad recently let me know, and shout out to my dad, avid listener from South Carolina.
We appreciate you.
We thank you. He got to pull the fire alarm because he is a school librarian, and now, and I guess the way their school does it, is when there's a fire alarm, one of the teachers get to pull it, and he got selected to pull it. And he said it was a little underwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that was mostly because of all the buildup. I think the way to do it is if you see a fire alarm, you feel the spirit move you, you pull it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if it happens, you know.
If it happens, yeah.
If the vibrations are there.
They're there. They're always there. Trust them.
Don't let go.
Any public apology you want to give to the camera right now to send us home?
Yeah, I think that's it. I haven't pushed anybody in a wheelchair downstairs. I haven't done that.
Well, maybe it'll come up again. Even Usher needed 2 parts to get that confession done properly. So I think we can end it out there then, and come back here in 2 weeks. Listen to our podcast coming out every 2 weeks wherever you get your podcast. We thank you for listening. Tell a friend.